Hello, my name's John Longstreet, and I'm honored to welcome you to this great event this evening. I wish I could be here for this event because it is momentous for Collin County. At the risk of letting the cat out of the bag, in just a minute, the hardest working elected official I've known is going to announce her intention to re-enter the public arena. I first met Cheryl Williams on my very first day as a candidate for City Council in 1991. I was walking the east side of Plano and I stumbled into her neighborhood and her house. Cheryl immediately took a great interest in what I was doing and a great interest in Plano, and from that moment on was involved in our community in a big way. Ironically, just 4 years later, when the charter election made my district a geographic district, Cheryl ran for the office and became my successor in place one for Plano City Council. I came back a year later and was pleased to have almost my full 2 terms of an opportunity to work with Cheryl. I saw during this time, not only was Cheryl one of the hardest working local elected officials I'd worked with, she's smart, she's studious, and she was very connected with the citizens. She always came prepared to address the issues in front of the City Council with a lot of citizen input. She went out, she found out what was on the people's mind, she put her own perspective to it, and she focused on making a good decision for the citizens. Now, I'll be the first to tell you that Cheryl and I didn't always agree on everything. And something that Cheryl doesn't know is that often when we would have a debate that we didn't agree on, I would excuse myself from the council after the debate was finished, ask Mayor Pro Tem Van Male to take over, and I'd get down to the Plano Television Network studio and watch the replay and see how it actually played out. And I'll tell you today for the first time that more often than not, when Cheryl and I disagreed, she was right. Cheryl is more than hardworking, she's more than smart, and she's more than studious. She brings something to the table that I can best describe by a story that Bob McCutcheon, my good friend, recently relayed to me. I was trying to sell a business plan, and Bob was talking to me about my plan. He said, "John, your charts and graphs are great. Your numbers are compelling. But what's going to sell this plan is your passion." Cheryl has something that goes far beyond being studious, hardworking, and listening to citizens. She has passion. Cheryl Williams doesn't do anything halfway. She does it not 100% of the way, she does it 150% of the way. And sometimes she drives her colleagues like me crazy, but she does it in a very good way for the citizens. Another story I'd like to relate is when that same year, 1991, when I first met Cheryl walking her neighborhood, I got a call from Ed Cage. Some of you may know Ed Cage. At the time, he was described as a local tax advocate. Ed called me and said, "Longstreet, I understand you're running for council, and I want to ask your position on certain things." He asked me a number of questions about how I would vote on particular fiscal matters, the city of Plano. And at the conclusion of his questions, I said, "Mr. Cage, I can't tell you how I'm going to vote on those matters because I haven't had a chance to see the material yet. I haven't studied it. It hasn't been brought before the council, and I think it's bad form to forecast my vote." I said, "I will tell you that I'll go out, I'll do my homework, I'll talk to the people, and I will do what I believe is right." I was sure that I was going to lose his support. There was a pause at the other end of the line, and then he said, "John, I think that's good enough for me." Cheryl Williams is someone, in all of the years I've worked with her, agree or disagree, she always did her homework, and most importantly, she always did what was right. The ethical standards are first and foremost for her, and I believe that we can't do much better than to find someone that will do the right thing every time. As Ed Cage would say, that's good enough for me, and I think it should be good enough for the citizens of Collin County. Cheryl may be swayed by a cogent argument from her colleagues. She may be swayed by citizen input that she seeks out so diligently. She may be swayed by some new evidence, but she'll never be swayed by money, by intimidation, or by patronization. And that's a great thing in an elected official. And now it's my pleasure to introduce to you Cheryl Williams.